Hi, this is Brad Oaster. In the book I wrote called Making Room to Make Disciples, I have a chapter in there called Architects, Builders, and Other Crooks. And what I wanted to do is share with the Christian community some of the things that I've seen take place in church development that you don't often hear about. The reason you don't hear about it is most churches are so horribly embarrassed that it happened to them that they would never tell anybody. But I want to share these with you so that it opens your eyes to what could happen. I don't want to name the individual churches, so I'll tell you what town they're in. And instead of naming the construction company or the architectural firm or the bank in some cases, we're just going to refer to this adversary as Chuck. So the name of the series is, Has Anyone Seen Chuck? A story about this was a church in Auburn, California. I had worked with them to put together a cost breakdown on a building that they had designed, and it was my intention that I would build the building. Well, that didn't happen. Chuck and his construction company came along with a price that was substantially less than mine. And I looked at the cost breakdown and I thought there is no possible way Chuck can build that building for that price. But the church was thrilled. They were absolutely thrilled. He's coming in at hundreds of thousands of dollars less than me. And for me to come back and say, he can't do it, sounded just like sour grapes, right? I mean, I lost the bid. He got the project. The message I got from the church was, thanks, but no thanks, Brad. We're going with Chuck. Well, I stayed in touch with them, and I kept an eye on the project just to see how things would turn out. Here's what happened. They got the grading done. Chuck came in, had the grading contractor get all the grading done, cut the pad, and got that fixed. He had the concrete come in for the foundation. So the foundation and all the underground plumbing and electrical was finished. He had all the steel show up. He had all the lumber package show up. He had mechanical units show up. And this went on for about 3 months. And each month the pastor would ask Chuck, well, shouldn't we be paying these guys for the work? And Chuck said, oh no, he said, these guys, they're on a 90 to 120 day pay cycle, and they don't expect to be paid yet. So why do you want to draw money on your construction loan and start paying interest? Well, now Chuck's a hero, right? Not only did he come in hundreds of thousands of dollars less than me, but he's helping the church to not have to pay interest by drawing out the payments. So the first month goes by and nobody gets paid and the church is thrilled. And the second month goes by and nobody gets paid and everybody seems to be happy, right? Well, the third month comes along and Chuck hands him a bill. And it's a whopper because there's a lot of work done. The grading, the concrete, all sorts of material. There's lumber going up. The bill was for $500,000, the first draw on the construction project. So the church gave it to the bank. The bank came out. They did their inspection and looked. And sure enough, there's $500,000 worth of work done. So they signed off on it, and they wrote a check to Chuck for $500,000. They handed that to Chuck on a Friday, and that was the last they ever saw of Chuck. Chuck flat out disappeared with the money. He had lied to all the subcontractors, to the grading guys, to the concrete foundation guys, to the underground utilities, to the lumber company, to the steel company. He told them that the church was getting their financing put in order and that they would be able to pay soon. And he'd been telling them this for several months. Then at the end of several months, Chuck got a check for $500,000 and he skedaddled. Nobody's seen or heard from Chuck since. Okay, this got really, really bad because now the subcontractors were angry. They don't care that Chuck got paid. They want to be paid, and they want to be paid now. So the church went to the bank and said, hey, we need another $500,000 because Chuck skedaddled, but we got to pay all these subcontractors. Well, the church said, no way. They said, we only pay for work that's done, and there's $500,000 work done out there, and we've already paid, and we're not giving you another dime until we have full lien releases from all the subcontractors and all the suppliers and proof that they've all been paid. Now what do? They shut down the entire project for over a year, did fundraising campaign after fundraising campaign to try and keep the contractors from suing them and liening the property, and eventually, years later, they were able to pay that $500,000 to all the subcontractors. By then their permits had expired, but they were eventually able to get the building finished. But this was an absolute horrible, horrible thing to have happen to any church. And the last thing I wanted to say is, I told you so, because I told them that there is no way Chuck can build it for that price, but it came across as sour grapes. So we have information on our website, in our ebooks, how you can protect yourself from guys like Chuck. There's joint checks that you can write. There's conditional releases and unconditional releases. There's a lot that you can do to protect yourself, and we're here to help you. Remember what Solomon says, acquire knowledge, seek wisdom. We're here to help. If I can help you, call me. My name is Brad Oaster. My phone number is 719-439-3019. Thank you.